welcome back to the channel, guys. Please read this disclaimer before you attempt any of this. It can be quite bad if you get it wrong. So dismantling / modifying R34 Skyline headlights. Originally, I did not set out to modify these or do anything special with them. I had an old headlight sitting around that was basically, well, it's smashed to oblivion, or I thought it was smashed to oblivion anyway. You can see it's got holes and cracks in it all over the place, and I thought, I really want to see what it looks like if we take this apart, because hey, in the future, depending on what my headlights look like after I put my new ones on there, I may take my old headlights and put some new lenses on them, and I'd like to know how to do that. So this is basically a video for everyone to basically know how to do this. It can be difficult, however, I think I've found the perfect way of doing it, and with minimal fuss basically. So you can see here, obviously it's all one unit generally. There are two screws that you need to remove from the I guess you'd call it the outer side of the headlight right there. Those two screws there, just small Phillips head bolts, so you need to remove them. If there are any other screws to remove from this, I don't know, because they might have snapped off. So I know those two there. Now this is generally an easy process, if I'm honest. So you'll see where I'm pointing to there, that's the seam where the lights are joined. Generally there's two silver clips where my fingers were just there. However, in this one it's been busted, so they're probably gone who knows where. But I've got one of these trim removal tools. This, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I'll tell you what, it's one of the most valuable things you can use. So I use that and a Phillips head screwdriver, also a hot air gun. And basically you can see where I'm running it across there. I'm going back and forth over the seam. I've got it on the highest heat, and I'm just obviously seeing where the pointer of it is, where I can start getting in there. So I put some gloves on because the headlight got quite hot. The glue that holds these headlights together is absolutely terrible, and you can see from there that trim removal tool how effortlessly it just slid through there. So basically it's not a difficult process. However, I can understand why people would be apprehensive about trying to attempt it, because it can be, well, it's daunting, you know what I mean? It's literally, you're about to possibly break something that's worth $1,500, and headlights are not common to come by nowadays, and if they are, people want ridiculous money for them, because obviously Skyline tax, whenever that decides to finish, if it finishes, who knows. But look, you will need, I use a second Phillips head flat head for this, sorry, and that's because I needed some extra leverage. Yeah, look, basically yours may not be the same, you might be able to do it just with one tool. However, I felt like I needed this because I didn't want to break them, because the plastic was already cracked and brittle. This glue that holds it will stick to everything, and if you get it on you whilst you're doing this, it burns because it's already been heated up by the hot air gun. So it's not a fun time. So take your time with this. Obviously try and get in there and remove as much of the glue as possible. That's going to be your saving grace, because if you do that, it'll make the rest of the removal of the headlights a lot easier, if I'm honest. So don't force it, just obviously come in, heat it up prior to, and if you feel like you need more heat, get more heat on there. This side here was a little bit relatively easier than the other one. Again, I'm just going in there now because it's a bit warm, but I wanted to see exactly where the glue was at in terms of if it had melted or not, which it hadn't completely. So back with the heat gun I go. Now this is a good trick as well. If you end up with that black substance glue on your lights, hit it with the heat gun and it basically melts off, and then just get a wet paper towel and wipe it off. So you can see now how effortlessly it's doing it. With a flat head, I don't know if you'd have the same effect, but this tool definitely makes this job a lot quicker, and it can be very tedious. Now again, when I said to you guys, don't force the issue with these lights. If you feel like it's about to come, just let it go. If it's not, then hit it with some more heat. I know a few people from my research that have done this and thought, yeah, well, it's all heated up now, it should be right. And basically what happens is they end up ruining their headlights. And that goes for people that have good headlights that are just trying to modify them and do something special with them. So you can see here, I basically got it all open. However, that last little bit wasn't coming. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. So I grabbed the heat gun and basically hit it again. And that was because obviously I want to make sure I don't break these. Even though they're used headlights that are in bad shape, I want to make sure I at least do the right thing to show you guys, so that if you try and attempt it with yours, then it doesn't, obviously, nothing bad happens to your lights. Generally, I wouldn't put them lens down. However, these are quite damaged and dirty, which, you know what, I polished them up a little bit and I was actually really surprised. Random flower sitting in the headlight there. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bit odd, but that's the inside of an R34 headlight. The insides would be relatively the same, whether it's halogen or xenon, I would assume. I'm pretty sure it is, but yeah, this black stuff, the glue they use, this grey black stuff is absolutely horrendous, and if I didn't think about using the heat gun, it would have taken me a long time to clean it off the tools, unless you're planning to just chuck them out. In that case, that's fine, but if you don't have to, why would you? So that's the seam where it joins there. Now this would be, if you're replacing the lenses now and you had a perfectly working headlight, the next part of this would be for you to obviously just get the new lens, start prepping it, because you've got to take out the insert from this light here, which is not too difficult. It's 3 or 4 screws, and basically from there you just pop out the inside, which, if this was a perfectly good working headlight, I would be wearing gloves and being really careful not to get fingerprints all over it. However, this is an old used headlight and I don't really care much for it. This is purely just for me to increase my knowledge and obviously show you guys how to do this as well. So you can see there the inside of the headlight, which is nothing overly too special, but it does give you plenty of room if you want to retrofit something in there. And I got to thinking a little bit about that as well. So I put the Parker lights cover back in there, so now it looks at least like it's meant to. Apart from that crack up there, it's not in too bad a shape, and if I was to glue that together and basically spray it down, sand it down, I could see me possibly using that in the future for maybe a different project, but that is for another time. So we've got the lens here, which you can see is quite bad. It's very dirty, it's very dusty, it's very scuffed and scratched, so it's not amazing. There's the flower there, but I got to thinking, what if we add an LED ring to the headlights? Now this is basically everything I just did in reverse, but I added the LED ring in there, and this LED ring is actually from one of the busted tail lights. So basically it's not made for a headlight, it's actually a brake light, but I wanted to see what it would look like if we put an LED ring in there, because I know some people like the halo style look. This isn't for me, by the way. Halos, angel eyes, demon eyes, whatever you want to call them, they're not for me. I don't really like them. It's not really something that appeals to me. However, I can respect that people do like them, because if it was back when I had my black R34, I probably would have been all over it. I'm just touching the lenses now to see how hot they're getting. Sometimes when you connect, I guess, a 12 volt power supply to an 18 volt drill battery, things can get hot sometimes, but they seem to be fine. So in essence, look, it's not that I hate the angel eyes or the demon eyes or halo eyes or whatever you want to call them, it's just not for me. And it comes down to personal preference. I think it looks pretty cool like that. If they were like a blue color, then that would be pretty cool. Even like a bright white, that would also be cool. But look, that's how you basically disassemble a headlight. If you're going to be using this in order to put new lenses on your headlights, then this will definitely help. If you're going to use it to put halos in your and your lights, this will also help. But other than that, that's entirely up to you. I want to thank everyone for liking, subscribing and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you get some sort of worth out of these videos, or it helps you in some way, shape or form. That's it from me, guys. As always, take care.